Go to Beijing, where we're joined by journalist and correspondent Patrick Falk. Come to you often out there. Patrick, thanks for joining us. It's been shocking to see just what we've been seeing in this public unrest in Beijing, but China's a big place. I mean, how widespread is this? I see a lot of people out behind you. What can you tell us?
Well, I've got to correct you there first. I'm coming to you from Hong Kong, not Beijing. But yeah, like you say, this is spreading. It has spread to here in Hong Kong right now. There is a vigil taking place right now in Central with lots of people holding up blank placards. As we know, a lot of the protesters on the mainland have been doing the same to symbolize discontent over censorship. A lot of people also bringing flowers as a mark of solidarity with the people of Urumqi, who, as you say, died in that apartment blaze. This movement does seem to be gathering momentum. It has spread to not just Hong Kong, but other parts of the world as well. But even inside mainland China, there are protests that are taking place in Wuhan and Chengdu, in Shanghai and Beijing. There's quite a lot of security right now. They are trying to disperse the crowds. You can hear them right behind me. This gathering here is getting bigger and bigger. It started only about half an hour ago, but there are more and more people turning up as things go on.
Just remarkable, Patrick, to see these kind of images anywhere, China, mainland or Hong Kong. This is remarkable. This zero COVID policy, I mean, how bad is the outbreak at this point? What do we know about the numbers?
Yeah, well, it's funny because people aren't even talking about that much at this point. The case numbers have hit another daily record, over 40,000 cases registered in China today. And of course, this protest movement may also help that spread of the virus. So it does seem as though authorities are losing control of the zero COVID policy. Also, here in Hong Kong, same sort of situation. It's hard to say whether or not they can continue like this. State media has been saying that China needs to unswervingly stick with the zero COVID policy. But, people have certainly had enough of it. It has caused 3 years of disruption for people and affected every single person in China.
Yeah, and in general, I mean, what has life been like, just this last month in these COVID-hit regions of China? I mean, is it mass testing, totally locked down? I mean, describe a day in the life if you can.
Well, I've come away from Beijing just a week ago, and things really have been tightening up a lot there. People had to go and get tested every single day. These queues are long, incidentally. Sometimes it takes an hour to queue up, especially right now when they're saying that you have to have a negative test every 24 hours to go to public spaces. And it's just weighing people down. And, of course, it's really hampering business and affecting people's livelihoods. And, people are of the view that this just cannot go on. So they are coming out in defiance of the Communist Party. In Beijing in particular, health officials have been advising people to stay in Chaoyang district. That's where the main district is. It's where the main outbreak is as well. But people have had enough.
Wow. Look, taken to another level. There's this reports of the BBC journalist who was taken into custody. It's been surprising to see the foreign media access to a lot of these major protest sites. Sensitive subject, I know, in China. For now, though, is there open access for you and your colleagues reporting on this?
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you bring that up, because we are hearing that reporters and foreign reporters in particular are being told to stay away from these protests that are happening all over the country. And also we're hearing that security is being tightened up in a lot of these places where the unrest is going on. And that in particular, security officials are telling people to scrub photos and videos from their phones. Authorities don't want these images getting out and potentially inspiring other people to take to the streets to voice their grievances. But that's also potentially a sign that there could be a swift, harsh crackdown to prevent this from spreading any further.
Now, you mentioned the economic impact. I mean, this is all happening in China at a time when the rest of the world is forgetting about COVID, to put it lightly, much of the world at least. Has the impact been stark on the people of China, business? I mean, by design, it's isolating.
Yeah, well, I mean, the economy really is in dire straits, and of course there were expectations of easing up after Congress, and that perhaps the economy would be able to rebound at that point. But there is a lot of pessimism over the outlook for the Chinese economy, and of course these COVID controls are exacerbating other issues as well, including the property crisis in China, which is a very serious problem that again could have very long-term effects for many people. So, I mean, the COVID curbs really are just in a real mess right now. And, like I say, many people just want to come out and say they've had enough.
Appears so. Many people out there. Patrick Falk, fascinating, eye-opening. Good to have you with us there. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thanks for coming to us this time from Hong Kong.